Hello, welcome back. We're on 7.4, three-dimensional figures. Yay! This section is kind of just playing around with them. There's not a lot of there's no formulas. It's kind of getting to learn these words, some of the vocabulary, understanding what it means. There's some very cool I don't know, drawing and things. This is one of the more different style chapters. I like it though. So let's talk about, so what you want to be able to do, success criteria, is find faces, edges, vertices. So we're going to learn those words. You want to be able to draw prisms and pyramids. So maybe I'll learn something here because sometimes I'm not great at drawing all of the prisms and pyramids perfectly. I'm better this year than last year, but front, side, top views of three-dimensional figures. It really is going to try to help you through this chapter to understand how these three-dimensional figures work. And then I just got done doing 7th grade videos, so this will help you tremendously build a foundation for next year when you have to do some of the more complicated, and even more so, it'll help you in the next coming sections, especially surface area, which is 7.5, which we'll do after this. Anyway, okay. So what are the three-dimensional figures? So a solid is a three-dimensional figure that encloses a space. Okay, so it encloses a space. A polyhedron, which is a big word in math, polyhedron is a solid whose faces are all polygons. Okay, polygons are squares, rectangles, triangles, circles, hexagons, octagons, all the gons, all the gons basically. Actually, I take that back. I'm not sure circle is a polygon. So anyway, sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I'm not going to start over because of that, though. All right, so maybe you could Google that if you care. All right, so let's talk about some of these other words. Okay, so the face is the flat surface of the three-dimensional shape or polyhedron. By the way, polyhedra is the plural. So if I had multiple polyhedron, it's called polyhedra. So there you go, polyhedra is the plural. So that means you have multiple. Anyway, fun fact. Okay, so the face is kind of this thing, right? The red. I didn't need to really draw that. The red, this is a face, the front. This is a face on the side. Another face on the back side. Another face on the very back. And then I can't remember if I did top and bottom. So the top and bottom, right, are the bases. And do you notice that in a rectangular prism is what this is called, these opposite sides, so this bottom and this top, right, they're the same size. Similarly, same with the front and the back and the two sides. They're all kind of the same. They're all the same. Okay, so the edge is a line segment. Okay, so do not get edge and vertex confused. So the edge is this blue line, okay? Another edge would be from this blue line, let's just draw it, up. That's another edge, okay? Here's another edge. Here's another edge, okay? And furthermore, there's another edge, even these dotted lines back here. So when you're counting edges, that's what you're going to look for. The vertices is the point where the edges intersect, okay? So they are going to be points. So there, 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 Okay, so there we go. And that's the kind of things you're going to be doing. Counting vertices, figuring out how many edges they have, etc. So let's move on. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so find the number of faces, edges, and vertices. Okay, so faces are the flat parts of it. So we've got one. We've got this whole back part, right? Way back here, which goes from here to here to here, right? This back part, that's 2. We've got this this front part, that's 3. Okay, so let's rethink. Okay, so we've got the back part, we've got the front part, that's 1, 2. And by the back part, I mean way back here in the very back. Okay, we've also got 1 down here and 1 across from it here. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6. Okay? Hopefully that made a little more sense. So front, back, 2 sides, top, bottom. Right? So there's 6 faces. So faces are done. Now let's do edges. So the edges are here. That's 1. I'm drawing here. That's 2. Let me use black. So we have 1. We have 2. We have 3. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this dotted line back here is 12. So we've got 12 edges. And then we've got vertices are the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 vertices. Okay. That's it. So there'll be 1 or 2 of those on your homework. Okay, so now let's talk about some other types of shapes. So we've got prisms. Okay, prisms are part of under the polyhedron umbrella that has 2 parallel identical bases. Okay, so in other words, as you can see, this is a base, and on the back side, this is a base too. Okay, and what it means by parallel is if you think of this as a tent. Okay, this is shaped like a tent, right? If you think of the front and the back of a teepee style tent like this, they run completely parallel. In other words, that was going to be bad. In other words, that's going to be bad. In other words, this line and this line, if they were drawn exactly along that, are parallel, right? Similarly, this side and this side are also parallel. Okay, so they are parallel to each other. This line and this line on the bottom, those are also parallel. Okay, so let's get rid of some of our mess here. Okay, so that is a so they all have 2 bases. Okay, so what makes it a prism is that it has 2 bases. Okay, and then it has what are called lateral faces that are parallelograms. Parallelograms. Okay, so you'll need to know that next year more than this year, but if you notice, this blue part is a parallelogram. So remember, parallelograms are things like squares, rectangles, and those parallelograms that look like that. Okay, where these are all parallel. Okay. All right, moving on. We have the pyramid. Okay, so the pyramid is a polyhedron that only has 1 base. okay? And the lateral faces, instead of being parallelograms, the lateral faces are triangles. And it has only one base. So this one has two bases, this one has one base. That's kind of what makes it. And since the base here is a rectangular, it's called a rectangular pyramid. Over here on the prism, the base is a triangle, so it is a triangular prism, okay? We can have a prism that looks like this. Okay, where the bases are rectangles, and that would be a rectangular prism. Okay, so that would be a rectangular prism. Or if you think those are squares, that'd be a square prism. Or we can do an octagonal prism or a hexagonal prism. We can use any of those kind of polygon shapes to do that. Okay, so how do you draw? I went ahead and threw this in here just because. How do you draw a rectangular prism? Well, I didn't do it as well, so like I said, I might get better at it. So let's all practice this. So we're gonna draw two identical bases. It looks like we want them to be a little bit off of each other. Okay, and those are definitely not identical. If I had a copy and paste, that would be sweet. I guess I could have used the shape thing, but it's too late now. Okay, and then I'm going to connect the lines. Okay, so those are actually my solid parts. And then the rest of it, actually, no, I'm sorry. These would have been, oh, well, that was part of the deal. But we're basically going to make these, this is going to get messy. We're going to make these dotted lines, okay? So now we've got to come down from here, back to here, and over from here. So we just drew one there. Because any of the hidden things, they have to be dotted lines, okay? So drawing a triangular prism, we're going to draw, here, let's use our shape thing here. We're going to draw a triangle. And then we're going to put a point, which is going to be our vertice up top. And then we're going to, from there, draw lines going up to that top. And then they're saying, and then the hidden ones are back here. So, I need to get off of that. So the hidden ones are right here. So have some fun with that. Let's see if you can draw some. Okay, so once that's done, oh, sorry, whatever. We need to move on. So, and then these are the parts we can't see. Fun stuff. All right. So now on this one, we're gonna find, and I went ahead and left this stuff on here. I don't want to take a bunch of time on this. Find the number of faces, edges, and vertices of this diamond, okay? So we've kind of drawn the diamond. We've put our dotted lines where they're supposed to go. So it has this top face. Okay, that's one. It's got this back face, this face, this face, and this face. So there's four on that top plus this very top part. So that'd be 5, right? And then it's got this face, and then it's got 2, one here and one here on the back. So that'd be 4 more. So 5 plus 4 is 9. So did we get the right faces? 1 on top and 8 on the side. So that would be 9. Yep. And then you can just kind of count. They come up with 16 line segments. You know, we don't have to do them all, but that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So that's just basically counting the lines, and then we have to figure out the vertices. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 vertices. 9 vertices, 9 faces, 16 edges. Yay, fun. All right. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.